Hi guys to everyone, it's Ada from Poison Rock, and today I have the pleasure, really the pleasure to have with me Damna from the band, one of the most famous band in the genre, Elvenking. First of all, I was going Damna.
Hi there. All good, thank you. All good. It's a pleasure being
Yeah,
here.
yeah, we're getting closer to the release of the new upcoming album. So, how does it feel? It's really close.
Yeah. It's
Really?
yeah, exactly on Friday. So
Yeah.
it's as usual, it's exciting and it's nearly a relief because it's been like months and months that this album is ready, and actually,
Oh,
some of these tracks were ready years ago because we
really?
recorded the drums of this album like in
Okay.
I think it was 2022 because we recorded
Okay.
the drums of both this and the previous album
Super
together. So
roughly.
we've
Okay.
been working, yeah, with these songs for so many months, and yeah, it's finally a relief that we are releasing this album, and it's the third chapter of this long
Yeah.
trilogy, this
Yeah.
concept. So yeah, it's
So that's
thrilling, but it's also a big
yeah, there's
relief
a
finally. Yeah.
yeah, and there's a lot to unravel about your Elvenking discography, and so I have in my mind so many questions that I wanna go with the first one that it's a must for Poison Rock because I like because it's me that the fan gets to know the band also from a personal perspective, and in this way, in this case, I'm gonna ask you like just it's really simple. Like, who were Damma before joining Elvenking? Like how you get close with music, and especially where were your passion? Like before Elvenking, who were you? Who are you? Who are you?
Okay. So yeah, well, I was very young, so basically I was a kid who was into heavy metal
Okay,
since he was a since I was 6 or 7, I started listening to heavy metal thanks to my brother. And basically, I've been really passionate about this and about reading and the stuff that a young kid in the 90s can be passionate about. And
yeah.
I had like I started playing guitar and singing in a cover band with
Okay,
some friends of mine from school, and that's where I started actually playing and singing.
yeah.
And then I saw this advertisement on a local paper. This band was searching for a singer, and the influences that they listed on the ad were really near what I was listening to. So I just said, okay, let's try, and that's how it happened. But basically, I was just a kid enjoying music and other stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, so basically you grew up together with Elvenking. I mean, your
yeah,
music and your influence and your experience were shaped and are shaped throughout the
yeah,
career with a and it's a beautiful because like it's not a family, it's like a marriage now with Elvenking. So
yes, it is.
it's
It is almost like a marriage. Yeah,
yeah, it's 24 years of activity, more maybe 25, something like that. So
almost. Yeah, the band was started in 97. I joined in 1998. So yeah, we're
it's a lot. I mean, it's
it's a
more than
lot.
20
It's a
albums,
lot.
but it was okay. We took from the first album. Did you thinking to do something, like maybe to celebrate since the release of the first album, for example, 25th anniversary since uh, Ethan Real, Ethan Real.
Yeah. Well, actually, we tried to celebrate the 20th anniversary with the
Okay,
release of a vinyl. We released a special edition on
edition.
vinyl of Heathen Reel, but unfortunately, it was I think it was yeah, right after the COVID situation.
Well,
So yeah, we just played some songs and
yeah.
some the few gigs that we were able to do soon after the COVID, but we didn't have the chance to
Yeah.
really
So many.
celebrate this. Yeah. I think that probably the next big happening will be celebrating like 30 years of the band,
I don't know. That's a big.
1997,
Yeah, yeah,
2027, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be
So,
a cool thing. It's a because if you think, I mean, I kind of we are about the same age because I grew up in the 90s too as a teen as a kid. So I mean, literally growing up, you have all your memories of your teenage period. You know, just in your 20s, just with Elvenking. But coming back also to when you were before you were joining Elvenking, there was someone like in the music scene. I don't know. It could be a guitarist or a singer that influenced you and also maybe at the beginning started to shape the sound of your voice.
well, yes, I think there are many. Yeah, of course. But when I was yeah, 8 or 9 years old, I was growing up with the classic bands like Maiden,
Yeah,
Metallica, and Megadeth. So Bruce Dickinson was, of course, one of my big lights in the
yeah,
in the sky for as long as yeah, the singing is concerned. But I was also really into all of the glam rock bands as
okay.
well because that was the time
Yeah,
where when those bands were really big, and I was into Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue and all that scene. And as far as the impact on stage, I was really into what Axl Rose was doing at the time. So it was like
like
um,
yeah,
uh, showing how energetic can be a frontman, So all these things probably shaped me a little bit when I
sure.
was kid, when I was very
Yeah,
like a child.
yeah.
And then later on, all of the bands that I started listening to in the metal scene, from the most melodic bands to the more extreme ones.
Yeah.
And then I discovered like an artist like King Diamond, and that was, yeah, it is still one of my favorite, singers and bands. And
Yeah,
the soundscape he started with Merciful
yeah.
Fate, and then yeah, with his solo albums, and he showed me how theatrical a singer
Yeah,
can be.
exactly.
And so I think that all these things, like great singers like Bruce Dickinson, Eric Adams, or Freddie Mercury,
I
or
like Eric Adams. Yeah, I like
yeah,
him.
these great talented singers,
Yeah,
together with like the energy of frontman, like as I said, Axl Rose, and all of
Exodus.
these
Yeah.
great performers, and then adding also the drama and being
Yeah.
theatrical of singers like
No,
King Diamond, and yeah, the
and
most
that's what,
extreme
and
singers.
yeah, and I think what people can also see in the live shows of Alvin King is that also you owning and starting to because they become also part of you these influences you owning you is like putting an act of a theater almost in the
Yeah,
live show
exactly.
so it's not only just singing a song or playing a song it's literally performing the lyrics and feeling the lyrics it's like when poets go like in the poetry slam and just they read and perform the poetry is the kind of putting yourself throughout that and then I think that especially merciful fate influence that was a big something that this combo it took almost all the genre
Yeah,
in metal yeah
I agree. I agree. Exactly.
yeah
Exactly.
and of course going a little bit more close to the present so
Yeah.
we don't want to talk about all these the album because there are a lot but of
Yeah.
course since 2019 which is the year that was shaping our life forever almost you were getting closer to the readers of the room. So you started this trilogy. Why this choice of starting a trilogy and maybe not keeping a concept album or maybe I don't know two album but started a trilogy?
Yeah. That was pretty spontaneous, I would say,
Okay,
because it was like since forever that we've been wanting to do a concept album. As
okay,
as I mentioned, King Diamond, we're big fans of that kind of
Yeah.
making music and of storytelling through the music, So we were kind of discussing, let's do a concept album, but we never had the right idea. I mean, we
Okay.
made The Scythe in 2007, which was more like a theme-driven album that wasn't a real concept album with a story going on. So we still missed that kind of thing. So it was 2018. We were about to start writing the new songs for the next album, and me and Aiden, we were on a flight to South America at the time because we were going. We had
Yeah.
a tour there in South America, some shows there, and the very long flights. And we started talking and discussing about what should we do for the next album, and that's where we started talking about a possibility, once again, about the possibility of
Of
doing a
course.
concept
Yeah.
album. And just out of the blue, one of us started like with an idea and the other was following. And then that's how we built up this thing, this story,
Yeah.
this very loose storyline.
Okay.
Then when we came home, we started developing it, and we immediately recognized that we couldn't fit all of the story into one album if we wanted to tell the story in a proper way. So
Okay.
we worked on the first part, the Reader of the Runes divination. We made
Okay.
that, and we left all the storyline open for, I don't know, we didn't know how many album or if
Yeah,
we
of course. It was, let's say, the first one, Divination 2019 was kind of a bet. Let's see how it goes and how much far we can go with these three.
exactly.
We can make a trilogy or
Yeah.
two albums.
Yeah, maybe just another
Yeah,
album, but we needed to have all the time to really sit
yeah, of
down and
course. It's not
see,
easy. Yes, I can get it.
yeah, after that what we could do. And then COVID happened,
All
and
the time you want.
yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, we are still talking about that, but it's yeah, we cannot avoid it. And
Yeah.
yeah, we had all the time during that unfortunate moment to work on all the lyrics that we
Okay.
were missing to really develop the rest of the story. And we wrote all the songs, we made all the pre-productions, we had all the time in the world.
That's
And
for Rapture.
yeah, for Rapture and for this Luna, both
Okay, so
albums.
you
Yeah,
already,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
after Divination, you already had in your mind that it was a trilogy. You should have trilogy.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was okay.
As
So
we
you
started
developed.
developing the
Okay.
songs, yeah, we wrote this bunch of songs, and we saw that, yeah, we were uh, trying to see where, as
Yeah,
the story was going, what we were missing, and all of the pieces then came together, and yeah, we had two parts, we had two albums,
and then
and
yeah,
then I said we recorded the drums of both as
yeah.
soon as we could, and then yeah, we progressed with the Rapture album, and then now with the Luna
So
one.
and with Luna is the end of the trilogy.
Yeah,
So it's a closing of a chapter. And I mean, of course,
abs-
it hasn't been released yet, but people might fan could ask, there could be maybe another trilogy in the future since it's working. I mean, of course, you have to see the result, but it's working good, at least by far. It could be
well,
maybe not a trilogy, maybe more concept album itself.
as far as stories and concept albums are concerned, I would say no at the moment,
Okay.
because it's really been uh, a really hard process.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing this for 6 years now, and it's been hard work,
Like
really.
coming
And
back to high school.
yeah, yeah. I mean, all of the songwriting was determined by this story, and all of the tones of the songs had to be consistent with the lyrics. So
Yeah, so
it was great to do this, but we really can't wait now to finally,
put it
go
out.
back and write, yeah, a normal album, be free of this, and yeah. So no,
Inspired by everything except the
yeah,
trilogies. But of course,
exactly.
people who missed maybe the beginning of the trilogy and they maybe are approaching to Luna now. So we don't want to spoil them and tell them what is about the ending. That's their fucking business. But about divination and rapture lyric wise. So as the story far goes, how so I'll start this. It's because it's a story. It's a
Yeah.
storytelling. So I leave it to you that to just tell the story.
Yeah. I'll try to be very quick.
Cool. Yeah.
So it would be very boring.
Don't worry.
Um,
People will
yeah.
love hearing, so don't worry.
Well, basically, the story is set in a time out of time. I
Okay.
really, we really don't know when this is happening. Probably in some kind of medieval times, but they're
Okay.
not existing. It's like all fictional. And so we are in this village, and suddenly this mysterious figure, that we call and we then know as the Reader of the Runes, appears in this village, and he is like he does these divinations. He reads
Okay.
the runes and is like predicting or having visions, predicting a
Okay.
little bit future
Yeah, of
of
course.
who wants to just meet him. And the first album focuses on 8 characters that go to this reader of the runes, and we focus on the 8 visions that
Okay.
he
So
has
each
of each
vision
character.
for each
Yeah.
character. One vision.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, and we already see that the visions are pretty destructive
Okay.
and are leading to a possible really dark future for each of these 8 characters. So this is basically the first part of the
And
trilogy.
each character is in a song.
Yeah, yeah, we
Okay.
have one song for each character, and so it's like 8 songs plus there were three like
Okay.
telling a little bit the story and
Okay.
introducing the Reader of the Runes character. Then with Rapture, basically we have once again 8 songs
Okay.
based on the 8 characters, and we see that all of these visions are becoming real,
Okay.
and they are bringing the characters to their doom, to their end, basically, because they all meet their destruction basically on
That was
in part
basically
two.
yeah.
So yeah, that's why Rapture is also a darker album, also on a musical side.
Okay.
And on this third chapter, we finally see what happened, why all of this happened, and we go a little bit in the past of all the characters, and we see how they are linked together, how all
Okay,
of
so
the
there was a
characters.
connection.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's all linked, and we understand how the characters are linked, especially to the Reader of the Runes. And yeah, and everything is revealed basically, and we get to know why
Okay.
he made these divinations, he had these visions, why
Yeah. You froze? You froze? I don't. So each character, so as you said, is connected to the reader of the runes, and in Luna we will find out how, I guess, and also about their past. I mean, what is the decision to talk about their past at the end? Their stories.
well, yeah, well, it's the past is the key here to get to the truth, to what really happened, and
Okay.
because the real event that triggered all of this is yeah, happened in the past. So this is why
Okay.
we go back and yeah, we
I
discovered
mean,
the truth.
I mean, you can make like about after all this has been released, the trilogy. You can make literally kind of a short movie, animated movie, a short movie about that, or a book.
Yeah,
I prefer a book to be honest. We don't, but it's yeah, because of course the pre-order are still open. I think of course, but it's gonna be
yeah,
released this weekend, this Friday. Yeah,
right,
and
yeah.
but for people that maybe means there's some I don't know special format, I don't know, special, I don't know,
Yeah.
vinyl, some color, there's some digipack or something.
Yes, exactly. The album will be released on CD Digipack,
Okay,
on vinyl, different colors, different editions.
okay,
And then yes, there's this special box set with vinyl, CD, and some items coming
Okay.
from this story.
Oh,
And
really?
especially, yeah, there is a book, a
Yeah.
small book where we,
Yeah.
yeah, explain a little bit. There are some notes and some additional
Interesting.
artwork, and yeah, we get to know about the story a bit more because you know, I mean, from the lyrics, it's not always so easy
Yeah.
to, to have a
Exactly.
clear point of what's happening.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this book here
Yeah.
has some notes. It's not a real book, with all
No,
the
but give you
story.
the hint.
Yeah, exactly. There are some notes
Completely.
that explain a
Yeah,
little bit.
because it's important because also, some people sometimes take so much, I mean, not for granted, but like you write a song, you write a concept album, it's out. But it's literally like you're writing with the music also and with the lyrics, you're writing literally a book, 3 books you kind of wrote. So for give to the people a full comprehension of
Yeah.
what you did. Of course, is needed to know the small notes because of course people, I mean, you put something out there and maybe after a while I want to know more, maybe I have some question that I can only get with like the item, the small note. And maybe who knows, maybe you can if the fund starting to demand a fuller book,
Yeah, yeah.
like an
Yeah,
orchestra, I don't know, a book orchestrated with a back, with a soundtrack, like just
yeah,
an instrumental part.
it can be a great idea. That can be a great idea.
Amazing. I mean, because it's not easy creating a trilogy. Because I mean, we saw trilogy, yeah, it happens, but it's, I mean, compared to the previous album, it should be kind of difficult, as you said. It's to come
Yeah.
back after to this other, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
it has been. It has been.
and of course,
A
I
lot of
love. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of hours of reading and reading again and trying to be as consistent as possible and not making any mistakes because, as I said, all of these characters are linked together and we go in different times in different
Okay,
periods and it's really a lot
okay,
of stuff that has to
yeah,
work and yeah,
definitely,
but
definitely.
it was cool. I mean, it was
And there
interesting.
is, I mean, just to give some also more information to the people, to the fan. There is one character that maybe was one of your favorite character that you developed with the others, with the Elvenking in this trilogy.
Well, yes, there are of course many things, many personal things hidden in the
Okay,
story, of course, because yeah, it's
it's
made up, but of course there are especially certain characters that
okay.
hide some of our personal
Let's
uh,
leave the mystery. Let's
thinking. Yeah, and well, I think that probably the character. We call him the Undertaker
okay,
in this story, and
okay,
I think that's the one that where I hid most of the personal stuff,
okay.
So this
Okay.
man that hides from society for his reasons, and he ends up being the Undertaker, basically. He works in the local cemetery and he digs graves, basically.
So there, let's say there could be each character so that also can the people can reflect themselves, like, oh well, this looks like me, maybe. Kind of
Yeah,
reflection also to the present and maybe to the past, because if we are who we are today and we will happen in the future is also a result of what happened in the past. It's
of
also
course.
something that can be applied to the present.
Absolutely. And this is the point. Yeah.
Yeah, and but of course, sound-wise, this all trilogy see some changing in the music, like in the sound, maybe for putting more the details, changes the themes, the topic,
Yeah. Yeah, of
enchanting.
course.
Okay,
Yes, of course, the music here was very much linked to the lyrics.
okay,
So uh, I think that, of course, yes, each album has its own let's say tone because of
okay,
the
okay.
how the
Atmosphere. Okay,
story yeah how the story is told in the different moments. So if part one was a bit like the introduction, and it was a good balance of all of these visions that were
Mm.
haunting, but
Yeah.
they were still not determining any uh, like destructive event.
Okay.
So the music was epic, maybe, was
Okay.
melodic, but not that dark, as instead it was in chapter two.
Okay.
Because in
Yeah.
chapter two, the story really was getting darker, and that's also the music. So Rapture probably is the darkest of the three chapters, and then this last one has, I think I like to say that it has two souls because
Okay.
with the story, as I said, we go on one side we go into the past of the characters,
Okay.
and that's where the music becomes a little bit lighter because we go in a time when the characters were
Wasn't.
younger and
Yeah.
they were carefree. They they didn't have the weight of adulthood on their shoulders, you
There
know.
wasn't destruction happened yet.
Yeah, and then on the second part, we really get to know what happened, and this is a very sad thing. It is a very
Okay.
sad event. So the music gets a bit more slow, a bit slower, a bit more doomy, more
Okay.
melancholic, and once again dark.
Okay.
So it was a big ride also musically, and I
Yeah.
think that still keeping the idea of the Elvenking soundscape that we want to
Of
preserve.
course. You have your
I
own
think that
sound. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. We still managed to push a little bit the boundaries here because of
Absolutely.
the story, probably. So
Yeah, but
that's why
also
we got a bit more melancholic on one song, a
I
bit
don't know,
darker.
epic, more epic.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
So
why Elvenking likes to everyone, even from who listen black metal, who listen trash, who listen everything, because you have a little bit of everything. That's let's say one of the Italian pride. Okay, let's say it. We can say
thank you
that.
very much.
And that's
I wish yeah, everyone would say this. So thank you.
believe me, the people I spoke to, they say so. Maybe we are all the same. I don't know. We are. I'm in Sicily. They're spread out. I have more friends in the north. So, but
Cool.
just of course, the last question, which is important. There are some live planned, like for example, I don't know, a release party or a touring, something that you can say, of course, at the moment, because we know that people, if they want to see more, they can just go on the social media.
Yeah. Well, we have some summer festivals at the moment.
Okay, okay,
So, well, actually, a couple in April and May here in
okay,
Italy. We have
okay,
it's a festival in the area near Milan, and the
okay,
end of April in Subria Festival.
okay,
Then we have Isola Rock in May and
okay.
near Verona. And then yeah, we have some summer festivals in Europe like the Summer Breeze, Into the Grave,
Amazing festival. I
yeah, the
agree with
Leyendas
that.
de Rock, some of yeah the Metal Fest in Czech Republic. I mean, we will like have like a
I mean,
nine or
it's
ten.
the season. Come on, maybe the
Yeah,
touring is gonna be in the winter, in the autumn.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, we talked about doing release parties and touring as soon as the album was released, but you know,
yeah,
we just came from a tour in
okay.
January. We've been touring with the Ensiferum Maelstrom. We've been doing the Pagan Fest, so
Yeah, I
it's been
know. Yeah,
5 weeks of touring, and
party.
yeah, well,
No
it
party.
wouldn't make sense to
Yeah,
tour
enjoy.
again. Yeah, right now. So yeah, we will do these summer festivals, wait a little bit, and then yeah,
But then I
in
think
autumn.
also you deserve a little bit of rest. You know, after this
Yes,
tour with the Pagan with the Antiferum and Storm, also
yeah,
you deserve a little bit of relaxing time. The
exactly.
album is out. Enjoy the
Yeah,
album. Because more, just a little bit time of your own personal life, of
exactly,
everyone personal
exactly,
life. It's an otherwise. And then it's summer. Summer equals summer festival. That's it.
exactly.
And then fall, it's time for touring. I mean, that's what everyone does. And apparently me
Absolutely.
too, when I follow that. I mean, what can I say? It was really a pleasure meeting you, and really I've been following Elvenking since I was probably 17, 6, 19, something like that, around 2008, something like that.
Okay,
No, wait,
cool.
2006, 7, that period. So it's been a lot, almost for me 20 years to follow your band. So like I told you, here in Sicily you have a big following. Also in North Italy, I know some other is gonna be really, really happy about this interview. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just show up there. And let's see some festival concert. I don't know. Maybe it's easier in Europe than in Italy sometimes.
Probably, yeah. True, true.
So thank you so much. Good luck for the album and for all this trilogy. May this may be a book, become a book for
Yeah.
real,
But
a bigger
okay,
opera.
that
I wish you do that. It's so beautiful.
cool,
And
cool. Thank you. Thank you very much.
was a pleasure. Have a good rest of the evening. Bye.
Bye.